Hi friends, how are you guys doing today? I'm doing very well today. Today my project is a DIY bracelet that I asked if you guys wanted to see me make one, which was this that I had wrapped around my wrist in the last few videos, and I got a great response. And this one also will be coming up next. So I did some brainstorming on how to show you guys two different ways. You're gonna need, what is this stuff called? String? String? I think it's called string. You're gonna need some, this is not dental floss, come on. I don't know what it's called. It comes, embroidery, maybe embroidery string. It's thick. I know I use it a lot when I do hair wraps. Don't know what it's called. And choice of your beads. The way I work is I just grab a handful and toss. That's what I do, no matter what mixture comes out. I just love doing that. It's my mixed media brain, mixed media jewelry, right? I'm gonna set that aside. Now I have two ways, and I started them so that I wouldn't take too much time, because they do take time. They really do. So I started this one here. I didn't finish it up though, but let me show you. What I should show you probably first is the length is your choice. This is about, let's see, my whole arm. What is that? A foot? Maybe? A yard? Maybe a yard. Okay. And what I did is, I made it really long, and then I should show you. Make it really long as you like, right? Pretend it's really long. I'm going to do it short. And I do one, that makes two, and then around makes three, right? And then you tie one end. Basically make a knot in one end. Okay, and then I have a clipboard, and I just clip it in there. And you're going to have to cut the end, this other end here, because it does this little loopy thing at the end. That's how you make your three. So now I have three. So for both versions of the bracelet, this is how you start on whichever version you choose to do. I did a loose braid on one, and it works, but the best results I get is when you do somewhat of a tight braid. So just start your braid. Now run your fingers down, because it does end up in a knot on the bottom if you don't run your fingers down. You know, you could do a few, and then it starts to knot down here. Run your fingers down it. How many times you want your braid? Just maybe, what is that, 2 inches or 1.5 inches? Okay. All your bracelets will start like that. Okay. So I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to show you this one. This one is a complete braid. All the way down. Right? Once you're done braiding, you knot the other end. Okay? And then you start adding your beads. And for this one, how you start adding your beads is like this. Just let me find a spot to put this down without it cracking any of the beads. Is you get some of your string, just the right amount that you feel it comfortable with working. Now, where's my needle? Holy bajooly. There's my needle. Do what you gotta do to get it through your needle. do what you gotta do, right? You just do what you do normally when you're gonna sew something. Make your knot at the end. Go wherever you want in your bracelet. Okay, just make sure that you're making some kind of connection in between the embroidery string. Okay, pull it through. Now I like my little strings to hang out. Some of you may not like that. I like it. I like it. I think it adds. Now I didn't pull it all the way through. I left some there. And what I'm going to do is grab some seed beads, but they're not tiny seed beads. They're like 2 jumps ahead of a seed bead. And the reason I use these is because it goes through my regular needle, and I know that there is a beading needle. I don't have one right now, and I'll show you in the next in the other bracelet that we're going to make how to make your own beading needle if you don't have one. But this one runs through a regular needle. This bead runs through a regular needle. I'm going to run it down. Okay. Go to that end that we left, the little tail, and go in between it. That causes a knot. See this little tail that's left? I like that look. A lot of you may not. I love that look. And just go back through your embroidery, you know, your braid, and now you got your first little one. Would be smart if I zoomed you guys in so you could see more detail. Get you as close as possible. Okay, then I go under the bead so that I can go into the hole. And this is why I started it, because it does take a while. I went into the beaded hole, and that's going to make me want to go back down. And you can feel the tension when you actually get your needle in between the threads. That's what you want, because it gives it more sturdy. Go back up. Try to catch the needle in between your embroidery thread. And I like to do 3. I picked up my bead, let it go down. I'm going to catch some embroidery between my needle. And there we go. And then I like to go under and go through my bead. And then go back down. Back up. And grab another seed bead. I don't know what size it is though. Just whatever works. And I do 3 because I'm happy with the number 3. Okay. Then you grab, oh well, you're going to go back under and up and through your bead again. Then you're going to prepare yourself and grab another bead, a bigger bead. Okay. Going down. I'm going to bring it back up, and I like the black thread as a contrast. It is, to me, in my eyes, a mixed media jewelry piece. That's the way I've always seen my jewelry pieces 18 years ago. Now I'm going to grab a bead. Where do I have my beads? Oh, over here. Just grab a random bead. What catches my attention is this one here, this red. Okay. Let's get that. And go down your embroidery. Feel for it to have catched your needle in between. Okay, and again, just for security, I'm going to go back under and up and through the bead and back down. And I'm going to feel to be able to catch some of that thread in between my needle. Back up so that I'm able to add those 3 beads that I like to put. And you do pick up speed after a while. It's very meditating, it's very satisfying to make your own jewelry because no one else will have one. Although they will follow the technique, but their choices of beads and their choices of color and however they feel at the moment on what they want theirs to look like will always be different. That's the best part. Make yourself happy. Do you. Nobody's paying you to be what they expect you to be. So why not just be you? It pays your heart abundantly. It makes you happy. I'm going to go back through just for security. You don't have to. You definitely don't have to. Well, I forgot to come back up, so let me come back up. And you know, using my technique here, me sharing what I'm doing, will bring different you will bring different techniques once you jump in and give it a go. You'll be like, hey, secret. I found an easier way, or this kind of way, and I did this and I did that. It's wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. I just open your guys' imagination, and that's why I do this. Okay, so now I got my 3 that makes me happy. I'm going to grab a little pile of beads and see what makes me happy in here. That purple over here is calling my name, so I'm going to go use that purple. Run it through, and we're done. I can add 3 more little beads if I wanted to, but I'm good. I'm good. I'm going under and back up, and I'm going to go through that bead again. Okay, so if you want to learn the other way that I do, stick around. Stick around, and I'll show you right now. Just let me finish this off, because I am going to use this needle. I do have another needle, I'm just being lazy. Basically, how to finish it off is just make a knot. Now, see how this is sticking out? I'm good with that. You do you. You do it how you like, as neat or as messy as you like. I like the messy look. Okay, I'm done. Okay, once you're done with this one, all you do is get your 2 ends. Let me come out a little. See, now you have your bracelet, right? You get your two open ends and tie yourself a knot. However you choose to do it. Like I said, be neat, be messy. However, you can use an end cap. If you want it neater, you can use a button. However you choose. But this is how I choose mine. I didn't even pull them all, and I'm good with that. Okay, and now you just wrap it around your wrists. If I can get this one through. Like as everything, I don't measure, and sometimes it's a good thing and sometimes it's not. I'm trying to get it through. Come on. Okay. You get it though. I made it a little too big. And in order for me to go around one more time, well, I was having a hard time there. But my daughter can wear it. She has a smaller wrist than myself. But that's how you do it. And that's how I choose to do it. And let me show you the next way. Let me put these away, except for those silver ones right there. But it's just like this one. By the time you're done, you just wrap it around. Let me bring you guys out. You just wrap, 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 and one more time. But I'm not going to do it because I don't want to wear a bracelet right now. Okay, here's another way you can also do it. So, started this one. Okay, here's a way to make your own beading needle. You get a very thin gauge wire and you cut yourself a piece. It's so thin that I can cut it with scissors. And you just fold it in half. You twist your ends lightly, but you twist them. Now don't let the twist go on top of each other. Okay? Cut those off unless you want to twist all the way down. I don't. And you have yourself here a beading needle. And I already made myself one. It's right here. Okay? And for this bracelet here, what you do is you do your braid just like I showed you in the other one. You get your beading wire and you run it through only one. You can do all three, run one through each and every one, but I do one. Okay? And what you do is you grab yourself a bead. I already have that bead, so I need like a focal bead. That makes you happy. And none of these yet. I will use this black one. And you have your embroidery in here. You run it through. Right? And you pull. And you got it in. You got your bead in. And now you braid around it. Okay, push it up and braid around it. It's a little tricky, but you'll do it. You'll be able to get it. Okay. Okay, I'm going to do again one more. Get my handmade wire beading needle. Get my bead that I want to use, and this one's just a flat bead. Run it through, and here comes your string right through. Pulled it through, and there you go. And then you go again, you braid again. You somehow try to trap that bead there, and you continue like this. Then you get your two ends. You can tie them together however you like. This one will run through just like that, okay. Right? And you can wear it just like that. But I like to take this one a step further. See, now I have it in. This one's just 2. Let me zoom out. Okay, but I like to take this one a step further, if I can get it off. They do end up stretching and all that good stuff. But before you tie your ends, which I should have thought about it, let me try to untie it. Should be able to. There we go. We're getting it. Be patient with me. I didn't think this one through. I'm very tempted to bring it to my teeth and undo that knot. Alright, we got it. Yay! Okay. For this one, this is the second way of doing it, is go, hopefully find your needle. Unlike me, where's my needle? There it is. Yay! Get some string. For some reason it doesn't sound like the right terminology for string. For some reason, just having one of those moments where you use a word and it just doesn't sound right. And do what you gotta do to get that string through your needle. Pray to get that needle through, and do your knot at the bottom. Okay, so this will end up looking just like the one we finished, right? Just like this. This is the one we strung into. We strung the beads into the embroidery thread. Okay, so your focal beads would be the ones that are strung through your embroidery thread. Those are your focal beads. And this one I chose, right in the middle, I chose the evil eye. Okay. I don't always do that, but I happen to do that. For this one, you get your seed beads, a little bit bigger than a seed bead though. And you do the same. But you're working around not having to what's it called? Not having to sew your bigger beads on. It's however you like to do. Back up and through the bead. Back under, however you like. I like it messy. Go through your bead, go back down if you choose. I need to look at the camera to make sure you guys can see. And no matter where you place your bead, when you wear it, your bracelet's going to turn around, flip around, and all that good stuff. So you don't have to keep all the beads facing one way. Just going to go through that bead one more time. Try to catch one bead and I caught 2. And you just continue. And basically what you're doing is you're filling up your bracelet in the empty spots. And you'll see it coming together right now. Give me 1 second, I need to move this. So now I'm not really focusing on going under and all that stuff. I'm just placing the beads wherever. But what I do want to do is make sure I go through that bead one more time. Definitely. Okay. We're reaching the focal bead, the bigger bead. And what I like to do is go through that bead. See how I went through it? And it just secures things even more. Who doesn't like to feel secure? I do. And we're just going to continue. Go through that bead however you want, but just go through it one more time, you know, and go down wherever you like. You're basically just sewing your beads onto your braid. And I'm not sticking with 3. I'm sticking with whatever fills in the void spot, the spot with nothing in it. You can, I'll show you in a second. You can even put dangly beads. And we're reaching that one bead. We're going to go through it in a second. Okay, let's go through that bead. Going through. Okay. And start our new little roll of beads. As soon as I run out of string, I will be assuming that you got the point of it, and that I shared with you how I did those bracelets. That way I can move on to showing you how I did the leather bracelet. Now, the leather bracelet that you've seen is my first and only one. So, with that said, most likely there'll be some learning curves for me. We're coming across that other bead. We're going to go through it in a second. And for the next bracelet that I'm going to show you how to use, you're going to need a piece of leather. You're going to need some kind of leather punch. I happen to have a crocodile because a wonderful Lori B sent me a crocodile. So you'll need yourself something that's going to set your button. I think they're called eyelet buttons. I'll show you in a second. You're going to need some acrylic paints and textile medium. That way we can turn regular acrylic paints into leather paint. Now, is that, how can I say, the right technique? Most likely not, but that's the way Secret does it. And it's worked fine. The paint is fine. It's nice and vibrant. It's there. It's been there. It hasn't smeared. We're good. You see that? We're good. So by using that textile medium, which is usually used to turn any acrylic paint into fabric paint, we're going to use it to turn it into leather paint. So we're done here. I'm just making a few knots. I'm going to cut that off, and as you see, we have not even reached the middle, so it does take time to make these bracelets. So here's the part where we filled. Let me bring this out. Here's the part we filled in, right? And we had like two inches to go. And then here's the part without. So you make your decision and you make your call on which way you'd like to do it. So let me show you what you're going to need for the next project. You're going to need some kind of punch. And I have, like I said, I have this thing. You're going to need these things. So that we can close up the end of your bracelet. Okay. And then whatever acrylic paint you like to use, and then some textile medium, which I'll be looking for that in a little bit. So for now, I'm going to say I hope you enjoyed, hope it inspired you to make your own one-of-a-kind bracelets, and have fun. And if you like, send me some pictures of what you've created and new techniques that you guys come up with. See you guys later. Bye-bye.